Hey guys, my name is Jason Singarayer from the top development team, and today we're going to be talking about Westworld's concept and why it successfully hooks an audience. And if you're stuck on your script, click the link below this video to watch the 3 secrets to a great screenplay. Let's begin. Westworld has an expansive world with a variety of characters, adventures to go on, and people to meet, places to explore, and multiple narratives. The idea of being able to do whatever you want in a world and living a life with no consequences hooks the audience because it sparks curiosity in how someone would live their life. But this concept alone isn't enough to keep the audience engaged. There are many films and TV shows that have a strong concept but go nowhere. Westworld isn't just a show with multiple narratives, crazy plot twists, and interesting scenes. The reason why Westworld's concept works is because of the core philosophical conflict that drives every episode. In the previous video on creating iconic scenes, we talked about how concept is philosophical conflict externalized. Westworld has 2 philosophical viewpoints. Humans should seek a deeper purpose in life, even if it comes at a cost of pain and suffering, or humans do not have a purpose at all and are simply slaves to their desires. Viewpoint 1 is externalized in the Wild West. In order to externalize this viewpoint in the West, the world must include elements that pertain to the Western setting. In the pilot, the audience is thrown into the theme park where we see bars, ranches, 6 shooters, cowboys, steam engines, rifles, and anything related to the West. These are all important pieces to the Western setting. This viewpoint is externalized in the Western setting because the guests come to Westworld to find meaning in their life. The West is where the guests either choose to be the heroes and live by justice, or choose to be nihilistic and indulge in all of their lustful appetites. The reason why this externalization works in Westworld is because the West is vast with plenty of things to do, like shooting, hunting, riding horses, journeys, different locations, unique cultures, and a variety of different people. Because there are endless things to do in the West, the theme of free will can be situated in this context perfectly. The guests can literally do whatever they want, and the options are endless. This is what makes free will a strong theme of exploration, because finding purpose first comes with your will to believe, like Dolores. Season 3 fails to live up to Season 1 because the show abandoned the externalization of this view, taking place in the city. This was the complete opposite of what Westworld originally intended to be. The West was where free will revealed a lot about who the characters were and what made them interesting. The ranch, the bar, the steam engine, the valley, and more all reminded us of specific characters and what they believe about the world, and the actions they took. As the show abandoned this externalization, it abandoned the element of free will, changing the purpose of the show and leaving audiences disengaged. This is why the West was a crucial element to the show's concept. Viewpoint 2 is externalized in the corporate sci-fi world. This externalization includes all of the sci-fi elements of Westworld. The robots being implanted with heroes' journeys, their repeating narrative loops, endless resurrections, the updates to the robots and how they were all created, and more. This viewpoint is externalized in the corporate sci-fi world because the robots are the elements that reveal who the guests truly are. How William and Logan interact with Dolores reveals their beliefs about the world. In the first season, William searches the park to find Dolores when she goes missing, all to realize that she was reset and doesn't remember him. The corporate sci-fi element of the robots resetting is a crucial element of the characters' choices, and this affects their beliefs. This is why William becomes the Man in Black. This is why Sizemore tries to stop updating the hosts, and this is why the guests can choose to be nihilistic. While the first externalization sets the foundation for the concept, this externalization brings the concept to life. A perfect example is Dolores herself. We first see Dolores in the corporate world, a robot controlled by the lab. But in the West, she wears a beautiful blue dress, lives on the ranch, and is a sweet, happy country girl. But this is also where the show gets even more interesting. The externalization of Viewpoint 2 is in the same world as the externalization of Viewpoint 1. This makes the characters like Dolores and Logan compelling because we see how both externalizations create the perfect scenario for their beliefs to come into conflict. This is why Westworld is able to handle many different belief systems with a variety of characters and have them easily come into conflict. Is your mind blown yet? Let's take a macro view of Westworld using these 2 externalizations. The externalization of Viewpoint 1 is the Wild West. The externalization of Viewpoint 2 is the amusement park. All of the robots are embracing viewpoint 1 because they desire to have meaning and purpose to their life. The guests believe in viewpoint 2, but they go to Westworld for a hero's journey that should give them purpose, which is viewpoint 1. But what makes the show compelling is that there are no consequences in Westworld. Now that we talked about externalization, it's time to craft a logline. A logline is your 1 to 2 sentence pitch that summarizes your concept and brings both of your viewpoints together. We know that Westworld is set in the Wild West, but also a theme park that resets. The show revolves around our central protagonist, Dolores, who is a country girl, but also a robot seeking consciousness. Ford makes an update allowing the robots to come to an understanding of their reality, and this ultimately leads her to form a rebellion with the robots to take control over the park. With this information, let's create a logline for Westworld. Set in a Western amusement park that resets, a robot with implanted hero's journeys incurs an update that makes her gain consciousness, discovering that humans are flawed. This leads her to form a rebellion with the robots in the West to take over the park. In this logline, we have established that Westworld is an amusement park that takes place in the West. We established the condition of our protagonist and our journey for the season. We established the results of both externalizations and how this affects our protagonist. This, my friends, is Westworld's genius concept. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're stuck on your script, click the link below this video to watch the 3 secrets to a great screenplay. And as always, until next time.